Hello everyone, it is Rui. I have just done some building in Animal Crossing today, so if I sound tired, it's because my brain is. So today is episode 6, and I was building during Bunny Day, so I was digging up a lot of earth eggs and rock eggs. Well, not too much, but some earth eggs. So I mean, that's not too bad. At least I can use them to eat instead of using the coconuts or whatever. But here I am creating the second layered level of another farm that I want to basically incorporate onto the island. I have been looking at a lot of inspiration online because I want to I think if for episode 7 and honestly this episode, I might talk about redirecting the direction of the island. Not to sound weird about it, but as you can see here, I'm getting all the materials and just putting them where they need to be, but eventually it actually gets moved. So nothing that I put in this episode, except for the farm plots that I put here, will actually stay. I'm not sure if you can call it Animal Crossing burnout, but I think I might just be getting frustrated with not having a clear vision and also not really having a vision for how I want my island to go, especially since so many of the things I'm doing are pretty, if you could call it expansive. I would say expansive because even just one path is very, very long and it takes up a lot of space. So I think I may change a lot during the episodes after this, like the island and how it's laid out. So I will try to record that. I have been recording that. I don't know if you can tell, I'm getting frustrated with this island and how it's going, although I'm actually pretty okay with how the train station / museum and train tracks area is, as well as the parking lot in front of resident services and the farm plots, rice fields at the beginning of the island, basically the entrance. So I'm okay with that, and it's just, I think it's the rest of the island that I'm kind of what do I do, you know? And then you may have noticed that today's episode is pretty much 40-ish minutes. This episode and the following episodes may be very, very long, so I don't know how long I can talk for, but I may try and talk as much as I can. I'm not sure if anyone would be okay with that, but I think for me it's one way to get comfortable talking with you all, even if no one is listening. And yeah, so I technically, even though I am recording myself building this, a lot of this gets how do you say, not destroyed, but replaced, because I am, if not indecisive in this game. I think that's why Animal Crossing stressed me out so much, and I actually took a really long break from Animal Crossing. Well, I mean, one of the reasons is just personal stuff, and also just because I just couldn't really finish an island. I feel like I touched upon this in earlier videos relating to Animal Crossing, but for the life of me, I could not finish an island. It would probably be 90%, 85% finished, even 95, and there would be an area that I just didn't even touch. If you have seen my previous island tour of Milk Tea, there are areas that I just left alone. I didn't know what to do with it, so it just didn't feel complete. So when I completed the hot springs theme, which I will keep the dream address of. I'm not getting rid of that. I think this island that I'm building, it will just have a digital footprint but no official dream address. So yeah. But the hot springs theme was one of the first islands that I've really completely completed since getting Animal Crossing in April of 2020, yeah. So it's just, I mean, it's not surprising to me, but I think having a theme, like something set to actually fall on or like really rely on, that really helps when you're building. So like for this one, Farm Town, you can do whatever the heck you want with it because you can interpret it as I've seen like from tour videos on YouTube, is like rural Japanese, half city, half rural, half feudal or something like that, you know? Farm Town can be anything. And it can be, you know, like a more eastern one or a more western one, whatever one that you prefer or whatever you use for furniture on the island. So Farm Town is very versatile. I did say I am doing a modern Japanese farm town, so I feel like I need to really dip my toes in. Weird turn of phrase. But yeah, basically dip my toes into actually creating a modern farm town. So that would have to entail putting in roads and sidewalks and having, you know, some dirt pathing here and there. Although, because like I have family from an actual countryside, I could probably just reference that because they come from a Chinese countryside, although it's becoming very, very city-like now, especially with all of the developments that are going on. But like their original family is from a primarily like village type of family or village type of environment. So I feel like I could just stem from that. But there are also like really good codes, like custom codes online that really fit into that aesthetic. I'm mostly using like Ali and Kyoto as reference, and other creators as well, but mostly them because they have done these themes before, and a lot of their codes that they've made are really, really nice, although I will have to try out a lot more. And I also ended up using, after I got some of the road codes, which is very funny to say, I actually almost ran out of design slots. So throughout the series, I'm basically rearranging a ton of the designs that I have. It's just Farm Town, I feel like I need to like really dwindle it down to the things that I need, because there are some design codes that I've kept because they are really, really good. But then when you try out like new design codes, the colors don't match. So I'm like that with when I play Sims 4. Yeah, like Sims 4, if the colors don't match, or at least the hue, the saturation, the brightness, whatever it is, if that doesn't match, then I don't use that object, depending on the theme that I use. I don't know, I think that's just like the pickiness of me. And I also don't want to keep using the similar codes to another island, because then people might think I'm copying. But then I'm like, well, if that code works for them and it works for me, I don't think it's copying. I think we're just utilizing the creator's design custom code very, very well in our own regard. So yeah, but I think I did try doing a more city-like theme, and I think I talked about that in a video like way before this. And yeah, I feel like I need to track down what I used for the codes, because that one was actually pretty good. Yeah, so what am I even talking about? I mean, aside from me basically rushing around creating more farm plots, more layered things, layered cliffs and stuff, there's not really much to talk about for the rest of the video because I am about 2 episodes ahead. Although I'm really contemplating episode 7 because I went through so much change in that recording of my island that I might just provide like cliff notes, you know, like little short snippets of what I did instead of, you know, putting it on 4 times speed and talking over that. So I may just do that for episode 7, just show you all just a short section instead of bombarding you with this whole build that I did that I eventually just don't really settle on. Unless you all want to see that, then let me know. But I think I might just provide the cliff notes and then move on to what I actually build in the episodes that are coming up. Honestly, because I realized that I can't even replace the dream address for this, I think a part of me is like, do I want to keep building this? But then another part of me is like, yes, you need to, because you can't have your villagers living on the beaches for the rest of their lives, even if you do reset. So I definitely will complete this. It's just, it is very frustrating that my vision of the farm town isn't coming to life in how I want it to, even though I don't have a clear vision, which is the frustrating part. Like, I know what the vision is, but executing the vision, seeing the vision at the same time is like, okay, yeah, I have to like actually do this. I actually have to craft. I actually have to test. So honestly, I feel like I'm repeating myself when I say Animal Crossing is all about testing, but it really is. And then it also tests my patience, especially with terraforming and in general placing items down. So yeah, like I think that's why I took a break from Animal Crossing. Like one of the reasons is because I felt so frustrated with the building process, with how things went. But I feel like it also lends itself to experience building in the game, so you get to not only see other people's creations, but you get to understand how they got to that process, or at least try to see how they got there. And honestly, I still would play the game. I would still play the game even though I get immensely frustrated. And yeah, here I'm just basically running around because I have no idea what to do. Because newsflash, the rest of the recording, I'm just like, what do I even do? Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like the last episode I did say, like, I'm not thinking when I'm doing this, although I feel like I should. And I also, even though I like this pathing here, which I believe, yes, I did include that in my card site, so I like it, but it just doesn't fit with like what it sorry, I was like interrupted by my cousin who is applying for colleges and she needs help. So yeah, I was just saying, like, I think the pathing, it's nice. I don't think it fits the aesthetic of the island theme that I'm going for. Sometimes I feel like I'm leaning towards rural, abandoned-ish farm town, which I may be doing, I'm not sure. But yeah, I feel like I need to take a break and like watch some tour videos, gather that inspiration, and also keep looking at my real life references. Oh, and here's where the shop will be. I am going to keep that permanently there, probably. Able Sisters will be right next to it after I put in some decorations to space it off. But yeah, the shop and Able Sisters will be right next to resident services. I feel like that makes the most sense. I do put in a road later, but I always seem to get ideas after I put things down. Like, I decorate and then I get ideas when I'm actually doing the voiceover, which really grinds my gears because I'm like, why didn't I do this earlier? So I will keep the idea that I have in my head a secret until the next episode or the next few episodes. But I will jot it down before I forget, which honestly, I feel like I used to remember so many things, like years ago, and it's just like now I just need to write things down. I just need to. And also writing while talking really is difficult, but I did it. Okay, so I wrote down the idea, and yeah, so I put in this little space right here with the truck, the boxes, the cardboard box of apples, just random stuff to make it look like it's, you know, a loading dock or something like that. I don't know. Just a place where supplies can go. And my initial idea was, since it was close to the river mouth, it can basically have a river and then we'll have a bridge to go to the other side, which I think I may keep. The spacing just turned out to be actually perfect. But then while building today, for episode 7 or 8, I discovered not really, so this might probably be taken away. Again, I feel like I'm spoiling the other episodes instead of actually talking about what went through my mind, but then again, I did say that nothing goes through my head when I'm building for this. I'm just thinking of what to do and also getting frustrated at the same time. So yeah, water terraforming isn't too bad once you get the hang of it, but yeah, in this build, I'm basically like all over the place. I feel like in episode 7 or 8, I will also be all over the place. But again, I will mitigate that by giving the cliff notes instead of showing everything. I feel like having cliff notes is better than giving you the whole like 3-hour sped up 4 times sped up version. So yeah, but here I was also thinking of actually adding in another layer or having more cliffs to surround the area, have some stairs here. Although I really do want to incorporate way more bridges. I feel like I had too many stairs / inclines on my last island and on many of my islands, except for the milk tea one. That one had, I feel like, an equal amount between bridges and stairs, or at least even almost equal. But yeah, again, this is like the portion of testing that I'm doing, which I don't agree with now. But at the time I was like, maybe this could work. So yeah, Animal Crossing, it stresses me out, but I love the game, so I don't know. And plus, I'm doing like this content for fun and not really like a job, so I don't know. Maybe I should stop stressing myself out about this. But yeah, a lot of stuff I'm still missing in terms of decoration, so each area is not technically fully decorated until I feel that it is so, but it may look like it is fully decorated, but it's not. But that's just my thing. And so here I am trying to think of a way to extend the cliff. Because as I said before, I want it to surround the area and not just be like an open area between the first ground layer and the rest of the island, because I do want something like structural to surround it instead of having a lot of flat land. But yeah. Oh, and then this happened with Raymond. He wants to move out, obviously. and I was shocked. That's why I'm keeping it as still as it can be. Because I was like, yeah, exactly. Should I move away? No. I am never letting him leave. Nope. He is our real estate tycoon, and I'm going to keep it that way. So, yeah. I almost clicked I understand, but him saying period, that made this moment even funnier. Because I did not expect him to actually say that, so... Yeah, you cannot abandon me. Don't do that, Raymond. That's just rude that you would think of it. I don't know, I can't forgive him. And he chooses to get a sandwich out of his pocket and just enjoy his day after saying he wants to leave. How dare he? No. Now he's just staring at a butterfly. Oh my god, I didn't even notice until now. But yeah, he's just like chilling in the rice fields, holding his sandwich. Oh my god. I don't know if I can forgive him, y'all. Maybe I should. He is gonna be basically like our real estate tycoon in the town who, or maybe he could be like one of those like office workers that have had enough of the office life, city life, and just abandon their like city life home and just come to the countryside. I think that'd be cool. I feel like I have found another thing to talk about, which is the lore of each of the villagers, because I've already determined that Raymond would be just now the office worker that changes, his mind and moves here. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can come up with some lore together. But here I am putting down some new pathing. This, I believe, is from Allie? I think so. Yeah. It's like the road pathing that they have. I think this is actually one of the really good ones, so I may keep this one. In terms of like the sidewalk patterns, this is nice, but I feel like it's a tinge too yellow for my island taste, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, here the reason why it's white is because I deleted the road original designs that I had for the parking lots, because I thought it was kind of redundant to have that when I have the actual roads and line pathing there. So yeah, this is just, it's a tinge too yellow, but at the same time I'm like growing to like it. But we will all see how I think about it, because even though I like it, I'm like, do I? And I also actually put down the sidewalk wrong. It should be the other way around, like 180 degrees around. So yeah, but anyways, I work on this area for the next episode, so you may see some updates here. But yeah. Oh, right. Shino insulted Marshall and said he had a stain. I don't know why she would say that, but I mean, that was actually kind of nice of her. It was, because why not? And here I am rearranging the designs, because when I was downloading the designs, I had a lot of empty spaces, but they were like scattered everywhere, so I had to like rearrange them in order for them to be right. And Marshall is looking at my phone like a little sneaky little squirrel he is, and just decides to settle here. I think I ran into this issue a couple times during this build and other builds, and in general, where I have benches and stools and everything put on the island, but they still choose to sit on the ground. Honestly, this whole tone I feel like I'm taking on for this episode is very irritated. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be irritated, but it's very easy when they don't sit on the benches that I put out for them. I'm sorry. That was very negative. But I feel like that's a frustration that not only I, but I feel like a lot of people experience. But it's like, if I put out seating areas for you, why don't you sit on them? Why would you sit on the ground? Why? Like, are you dumb? Like, not to be insulting, but I think the villagers might be a little. But yeah, here I slowed down the footage because I wanted to just show me thinking, testing out the types of plants and stuff, decorations that I'm putting down, because I feel like sometimes it's important to slow down the footage just so you can see, like, okay, I do spend like maybe 20 seconds, 10 seconds on each spot thinking about what actually would look good here, you know? So yeah. And then here I edit the grate, but I think I actually switch it back because I do like the grates that I had before. This grate custom code design is from Ali as well, but it's still good. I just think the ones I had before were better. Sometimes, even though the colors don't match, and I did say this before, if the color doesn't match, I won't use it. Sometimes colors that don't match actually make sense, especially if you are working on an island or a build that doesn't necessarily need color matching. So yeah. And here I am basically taking the furniture and then also putting down new pathing, because I did not delete that code. I don't know if I'll keep it, especially since the direction I want to take this island in, I may have to remove it, but luckily I did favorite the design on my favorites in the design portal, and I also kept it in my Notion codes, and I could probably just look it up anyways. But yeah, I changed a lot of the design codes. The arrangement of things stay the same somewhat. So yeah. But let's circle back to the lore of the villagers. So Shino, she is still the top fashionista. Marshall, he talks about food a lot. Like, I encountered a conversation with Punchy and Marshall together. He talks about food a lot. I think he might be the resident foodie, even though he's like so tiny. But I think that would be some pretty good lore. Like, he is the food reviewer of the island. Like, maybe he runs the cafe, like the only coffee shop in the town. Oh, which means his house would have to be like by Able Sisters and Nooks. I would have to think about that. So I will have to write that down as Marshall Cafe. Yeah, like he could be like one of those cafe owners, and he's the only one that's a cafe connoisseur. Wait, is there a code for like coffee beans? I'll have to find that. Like a little coffee farm, maybe? I don't know. See, this is what I'm talking about. Nobody sits on the goddamn benches that I put out, and they just decide to sit on the ground like dummies. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be mad. But, yeah. Audie can be one of the fashionistas as well, like the fashion experts or something like that, or they could be like the Shino and Audie could be both like shop clothing owners or something. Like they provide the clothing that the residents wear, but then Able Sisters also. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like they could still, no, or maybe they could be like the college girls that volunteer on the farms or something like that. Like, have people done that? I don't know. Like, I feel like I've seen in some places, like, they allow their students to spend some time on a farm or something to study or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they could be our college girls. Like, they're studying agriculture. agricultural studies. Yes, that's it. So their houses will be next to each other, which makes sense. Like, look here, even they're hanging out. Oh, you know, Lucky is probably gonna be what is it? He's gonna be in charge of the morgue, and he's the funeral director, which that means I have to move his house next to the temple. So I would have to redo or rearrange that build. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to record that later, but I'm gonna write it down. So Lucky Cemetery, so I can remember that he's gonna go there. So I guess I will technically have some houses spread out. Not all of them. I do want to have at least 4 or 2. No, 4 max that are together in their own like little neighborhood. Maybe I'll do like an arrangement that will work for me. Hopefully. I would have to test that out. I'm not sure. And look here. She's sitting on the bench. Wow. Do I count this as a win? I'm not sure. But she finally sat there. Maybe they're not dumb after all. Okay. Yeah. That counts as a win. Oh wait, she's getting off now. Yeah, they also don't sit there for long. Unless, like, sometimes they do. But they also sit on the bench that, like, generates on Resident Services Plaza longer than I need them to. So, I don't know. Maybe they just don't like the benches in the game. Or they're dumb. But yeah, here I'm getting rid of the dirt pathing because, you know, I'm putting down the roads. And while I'm doing this, I think I was watching Mid-Century Modern. It's one of the shows on Hulu. It's like sitcom style, I guess. Is that a style? But it's like the thing where people say, this was filmed in front of a live studio audience or whatever. Like they have a laugh track. But yeah, I watched that while doing this, so it was okay to watch. But lately, I have found out, which no one told me, by the way, I feel offended, that Black Butler is the new season with the Emerald Witch, I believe, is here. So it's gonna be simulcast every single week, but nobody told me, so I feel offended. So yeah, I have been rewatching Black Butler. I just started yesterday, so I'm still on episode 1. Is episode 1 where he meets with the Italian toy maker? I would have to look that up, but I've been rewatching Black Butler, obviously, and also Law & Order SVU season 25? Or 24? 25, because they started in 1999. But yes, Black Butler, season 1, episode 1. I was just basically restarted last night, but I couldn't finish it. But I will be finishing the rest of the Black Butler series until I get to the Emerald Witch arc. I believe that's what it's called. Because then I can just binge through the whole thing and then watch the new episodes as they come out anyways. So, yeah. I cannot wait for the Emerald Witch arc just to watch all of that. The public school arc was great. I loved seeing the characters again and their, not redesign, but like, I guess, updated design. Since they updated animating studios, I believe. Or like the style of it, which I love. Like everyone looks, I liked the original animation, but for here it's like they got enhanced, so I like it very, very much. Like you can tell how pretty Sebastian is, and that's my only focus. So I mean, Sebastian is basically like very, very handsome and pretty in the original, like when first season, subsequent seasons. So is Grell. But yeah, I Is it weird that I like hold Black Butler in like high regard? I don't know. Oh yeah, here I'm also struggling with the alignment again. So as I said in previous episodes, I want everything to align, even if it's not like aligned. Like everything has to align. If you get what I mean, like it all has to be straight lines. Everything has to have its place, even if you move one path up by one, eventually it will align. So I struggle a bit with this bridge, which I don't even know if I will keep it there, to be honest. So yeah. And I have been back on the SVU, Law & Order SVU episode grind. I feel like when I'm eating lunch or dinner, I want to watch something that is food related. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I like to do that. So I've been watching The Best Thing I Ever Ate, which I remember when I started watching that on the Food Network channel, cable. That was very exciting to see all the chefs talk about what they liked, and they have technically continued and released episodes through Hulu and other streaming services. So I've been watching that, but then when I got back into SVU, I think when I first started watching, I was on like season 16, season 15, and I kept watching until season 21, 22, and then I took a break because I was like interested in watching other stuff. But then now recently I have been interested in rewatching it again. So I think last year I watched season 23, so that's why I'm starting on season 24 right now, because a lot of the content I already know. I think it's been pretty interesting to rewatch it again. I think I wanted to do a thing where I watched all the episodes of SVU, but I feel like that would be a future project for myself. Again, I have talked about TV a lot, but it's because TV was like one of the only things that could entertain me as an only child, and it was the only thing that had noise, I think. So, not to psychoanalyze myself, but I think maybe the reason I liked watching TV so much is because it provided noise when there was silence in the house. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too deep. But yeah, here I'm putting down the mums, so like the green mums, and putting down two green and then one white, so it could be like a nice little pattern. My thinking is to have like a little flower kind of field. I don't know. I haven't had a flower field on my islands before, but I might keep it there. I don't know. But it could be like a little park attraction, like a little park maybe on the island. But I am putting down some pathing, which I do eventually change, so it doesn't look like that anymore in the next episode. But I do spend a lot of the episode, like next one, laying down new pathing, testing out pathing. So again, I'm just gonna provide like the short editing of it, so yeah. And I think why I'm kind of struggling, if that's the correct word, with this island theme a little bit is because, like I said before, I believe that Farmtown can be like, it can be a lot of things. You can do like super abandoned or rural or a little bit modern, but I think for me, I want it to have, I think since I named it Modern Japanese Farmtown, is to make it feel like it's not super farm-townish, but it is, but it's not. I think that's just something that I've been thinking about, like, do I want to lean more toward like a rural or abandoned theme, or just having modern amenities but adding in some elements of people farming on the island. So I think that's where I am struggling a little bit, and Although it's been super fun actually making train stations again, thinking of like making fake buildings and stuff and setting it up and all that. I think that's just one of the things that is giving me pause on this island. And also the fact that I can't even upload this dream address because I don't want to replace my hot springs one. So there's like that struggle as well. But in general, I think this island will turn out very, very well. It will just be a digital tour instead of like a tour that you can take through a dream address. I think that's just one thing. But other than that, like, I'm pretty okay with the farm town. I feel like last episode I was like, I'm upset or I don't want to, keep building because people won't be able to visit it dream address wise. But I feel like with the next island, when I do reset, I will want to make it exactly like a place where I can share the dream address and you guys can feel how much time, how much craft I put into it, while also, copying some builds here and there, getting inspiration from those builds, which we all do, of course. So yeah, I think I did not finish with the rest of the pathing. I did a majority of it, and over time you'll see me changing the pathing. I will probably provide, explanation and also the codes as well. Again, the codes are in my site, in the description box below. It's the card. A lot of the codes are combined together, obviously. So definitely look through because I feel like all of them, I use them anyways. So yeah. But we are reaching, I think, almost the end of the episode. So I would first and foremost like to say thank you for listening to me talk to the whole time. If you have, or if you put me on mute, I think that's okay too, honestly, and just watch the build because I talk about nothing very important. I complain about this game even though I love the game, and I feel like some people might not like that because it's a game that they may really care about. So but yeah, and I did not imagine those birds, okay? They are chirping right now, but my editing software has a good voice isolation feature, so there's that. But if you watched until the end, listen till the end, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!